3rd today. Nice session of gym. My hubby. Kids are all sorted out. I had all my bipolar meds. Spoke to Horizon yesterday. Manager Didi. She agreed for us to come and collect the waste today. An accord has been reached with the receiving guy that cleans here as well. We will share food with him and give him a contribution for his help and obviously the work that he does. And then donations won't be scanned today. Guys are tired, so I'm at the gates now. I've arrived. I'm just going to turn the camera and then obviously start the video again. Taking you through the process of food run today. Leanne, Nicole, Irish Luck NPC or K202229007008 trading as Irish Luck NPC, Jobs SA. Currently busy with a name change officially. Registered in 2020 during lockdown. Was trading as Archangels before. Unfortunately, then I had a relapse with bipolar and with my family and everything that we went through. So I discontinued some of my work. We also relocated to Pretoria. Spent almost 18 months there. Did not adjust at all. I ended up in Kalafong with an extreme mental breakdown. Ended up losing another car. My Yaris was stolen there. Long story. Dit kom ons baie de mekaar deur, maar op die ou einde van die dag sal die hele storie daar buite wees. En I feel very hard today again. Angry. How can I put it? You know, you had a life and you were somebody and you were a person and you were broken and made disabled and abused in every single way and probably robbed of everything. Yet you're out here helping people, and I've had a lot of fights with a lot of people over the past few years. Personally, I've been in charity work since the age of 15. Basically for survival. I've learned all the tricks of the trade. Then went into retail. It's not been an easy road. I left school very early. Mom passed away. Screwed up a lot of my opportunities. I didn't have much guidance in life, to be very honest. Met my husband when I was just before my 16th birthday. Been together since we were 16. I've walked many wrong paths. So has he. But it's taken a long time, but we've changed our lives. Everything and anything that we've ever been said about us is true. Except the extreme things. I feel a bit better today. My babies are going back to the little charity school at One Small Act of Kindness that has been there in a very difficult time for me as a mother, and also with children that are severely damaged from moving around, shacks, etc. A lot of catching up to do, bits of your life that are almost missing, things that are not up to date, birth registrations, injections, getting forced to have your little ones injected with COVID injections before they actually allow you to bring all the inoculations, or it sounds like I'm speaking about dogs, but they're my kids. Inoculations and everything up to date. I was injected with Pfizer in Kalafong when I was actually admitted there due to severe mental breakdown and mania. Actually caused by a landlord that had a prepaid meter that drove me insane. That also costed me 3,500 rand a month. Until I paid someone to fix it, and then the landlord and both me and him were happy. And then they started with the water, and all of those things. And one good day I just snapped completely and lost it. And took it out on the wrong people, like my husband and my children and my car at that time that my grandmother helped me with. I wanted to blow it to pieces because I couldn't afford the car anymore as a result of the water and the electricity and all the other shit things I was going through, trying to pay for medical reports, running up and down to government hospitals where you actually get nowhere, to be compliant for Discovery, not to lose my benefit once again. Before I had a medical aid when my youngest son was born, and with Daliana I had a medical aid, my little girl. Both were prem due to severe stress, and then obviously I get brain seizures, so that makes it even worse. And then I'd say a lot of rejection over the past few years. And I'm not an angel. I never have been, never will be. Very real. There's nothing I haven't done to survive in my life, except two things. Obviously, being a hooker and then killing people for a living. It's starting to sound good. But anyway, so no, I'm just joking. I actually found God on the way, or the higher being, and I feel that we must answer to Him at the end of the day. So I've devoted myself to this whole feeding people, as my biggest problem in my whole life since a child was there was never enough food. And not as a result of my parents not being capable enough, but firstly my father worked for my family, which is on my mother's side. He was broken at a very young age. His father committed suicide, and then everything he actually did in his life he was screwed over. My mom passed away from colon cancer, severe neglect, and obviously she was also disabled. She couldn't hear very nicely. Then I had two little sisters, which I love very dearly, which I've been very ugly to in life, to actually keep them away from me because I'm toxic. And then everybody else ran away because I'm quite nuts, regarding to knives and losing my shit. And but I've grown up, so and tablets don't solve everything, guys. If you know how many tablets I've popped to try and solve every little problem in my head and make myself normal to everybody, and take the pain away and everything else, then I would say problems really don't solve your problems. That was something Dr. Shawn Brooks said to me. It will stay with me forever, and still does up until today. His new book's brilliant, by the way, and I look forward to being able to actually afford to going back to seeing him as a decent doctor. And the treatment that he did with me previously really worked, and he really paid attention to what you say, and when you say something really doesn't work with you, or it causes problems at home, or you become dysfunctional, or it poisons your system, or you're allergic to it, or whatever the problem is. I don't hide many things in life anymore. I am who I am. My mistakes were mine. My children and my husband and my family has gotten very hurt in the process, and they're quite fucked up. Not only by my mistakes, but the things that we've had to endure. I would say the biggest change in my husband's life was the day he became a bodyguard with Junaid Monty and the Monty Group. It changed our lives forever, and I'll always be most grateful. We managed to get out of the shacks because of it, and I tried climbing the ladder all this way. Just a shout out there and a thank you. Yes, big company, difficult circumstances, but still a beacon out there of hope, to many. Maybe they don't realize it. And then to Freddie from X-Pro, thank you so much. You've changed our lives dramatically, and a few other people out there that I don't have to mention. In my life personally, I've had to face the fact that I was broken and I gave into addiction, and yeah, I was so broken, and so I thought that addiction would cure the pain, and it never did. And I've blamed everybody else for everything in my life, including my husband and my family. And yeah, there's only one person to blame for your problems in life, and that is you. So, um, had an injury on duty. Enjoyed skills development. I was a key accounts manager. I was demoted due to the fact that a manager actually told me that her 7-year-old son could write better reports than me. And at the end of the day, I actually had my father, which went to school at St. Andrews and majored in English, write some of those reports. And yeah, I was demoted from a key accounts manager to a field manager. And I was forced to actually sign a form to say that I am disabled. Just before that, I actually broke down due to severe stress and overload, and working in Pretoria, living in Krugersdorp, having a child. At that point in time, my son also got bullied at school. He in Millennium Law School, Krugersdorp. He was pushed into one of these concrete benches. He lost a whole lot of months of school. Neurologically, we couldn't really follow up on anything. But he lost school, and we lost our lives. And yeah, I was made disabled, forced to resign. I've lived in the shacks because of that. They've suspended my benefits. They've never finished my injury on duty. I was knocked over in a parking lot in Centurion, Lifestyle, Pick n Pay Hyper. I had a team of 38 staff members under me. Did really great. I'll still post all the certificates and the pictures and all the work that we actually did for Unilever, Smollen. So yeah, that's where I'm at in my life. Still at the security gate at Horizon. This work makes me feel in touch with my passion, which is retail. Always will, always has been. Started when I was a little girl, walking, selling things my mom made, protective clothing. Basically, aprons and things that she made. She was an amazing designer, although she was deaf. She had hormonal deafness, so it varied. She went for a few operations, all failed in those years. A very misunderstood person, always screaming. But I could see past all of that. I really loved her. And then great-grandfather owned Claude Neon. Had a fascination for marketing ever since. And then, I have a very farming side to me as well, coming from the Du Plessis family, Namibian origin, came to the Republic. I've been a total disgrace to all of them, and everybody that actually I'm related by blood. So I've made peace with that fact. So if you all still hate me after this, I get it. So no love lost there. So that's me for now. I'm going to now try and get hold of somebody in the store or the security just to open up for me. I see there is a truck somewhere in the bay there, so I can get my waste. Waste is food that we salvage and then go through clean, liability waivers, etc. are signed. We also collect donations for Nosh Foods, but at the moment there's not much going towards them. We've been fighting for the waste for quite a long time because it used to be one contract. We have spent thousands of rands fighting this fight, and people and friendships and relationships and business relationships has gone out the door. But we're in it, so we're going to do it until the end, because what it's all about in this country is jobs, skills development and food. And our non-profit company was registered for a reason, and that reason has always been for me to be able to fulfill my real dream, and that is teaching people to actually make something of their lives with very little. available to them to actually get there. And that's where we're at. So yes, and then I have a team of wonderful people that help me revamp CVs. Some of them are also challenged skills-wise, disabilities, age, but we're also developing their skills. They earn a small income out of what they do. We have members that pay a small membership fee, which keeps all of this going. That membership fee is allocated into fuel, internet, paying people commission on whatever they would do. And then obviously the people that actually sit and press the apply button also get something at the end of the day. And then the skills are developed according to what's out there. And yeah, so watch the space. The stories will get interesting. The comments should be very good. I know I've got more enemies out there than I'll ever have friends. I don't have many friends. I'd say at this stage in my life I have 2. 3, 4. Okay, let's make it 4. And yeah, the only people I really love are my children and my husband. I do love my family, even though I've always disappointed them. Yeah, that's for me for now. It's Sunday the 3rd of March. Somewhere this year's run away, or I don't know if it even changed the digit. Things are also very tense out there with the elections coming up and this fighting over food and fuel prices rising, etc. Yeah, and then basically we've just become homeless as an organization as well, as Angels Faith Educare has taken on a tenant. Our whole dream there was to actually have a center where we have computers and a cooking facility and a bit of childcare and a reading center. We've approached different churches and things. We were with Angels Faith Educare, but we understand that the alignment and ours are not the same. We've also been with Cecil. Cecil has grown. We're so proud of them. We still help them with food. There's not space for 2 organizations in one premises. So our main thing at the moment is actually finding a premises where we feel welcome. We have a storage room that we can actually lock. We can actually have people sit at all the computers that we're busy collecting and broken phones and things that we're repairing, to actually sit and do their qualifications on Allison, which is great. I would say it's the most amazing thing I ever found. Thank you to Quincy. Please follow her on TikTok as well. Amazing person. Does a lot of skills development herself. Very challenged life. She got me onto Allison, and it opened a whole new world to me, because I could just never find a place that you could actually study at and change your life quick enough, fast enough, with little enough effort and resources and money and all of those things. However, the main challenge is actually having a little center where I can give these people that I'm busy working with, and not just nationally as well as internationally, and those nationally that really are on the disadvantaged side, to come in, be able to sit the 3.5, 4.5 hours on there on our laptops with our Wi-Fi, and actually come in and do their skills finished. So that's the main challenge that I have. And no premises where I seem to go as a storage facility that we can lock our things away. We've lost a lot of things. The crap's been running through my house. Not crap, but it's been very hectic. I'm at the point where my landlord wants to throw me out, so I've promised him no more. So we're receiving loads of food also at the moment, and we're using different people's kitchens to be able to process the food, and also to check it properly so nobody gets sick at the end of the day. That's where there's liabilities, forms and things that get signed before the families actually get helped. Yeah, and then we have a tremendous shortage on actual starch and funds. And yeah, my biggest dream would be a nice bakkie or a van. Actually a van, because I would be able to load students, children and food. At the end of the day, our biggest challenge is that, and fuel and the premises. Everything else I'm quite capable of generating through all the various projects and things that I do. to try and make this work. And obviously, I have invested a lot of my disability income, which has really buggered up my family and my finances fighting this fight. I'm also standing with Nosh through the gift wrapping season where we didn't make anything, but we were there to represent Checkers and Nosh and all of our organizations out there at the end of the day. That's what it went about. Yeah, we were almost killed because of that, because we borrowed money from private lenders at 50%. And yeah, unfortunately, there were no money there was no money that came in. People almost worked for free. I also ended up paying off people now for the last 3 months that actually did volunteer their time at 100 Rand a day minimum. Drivers drove, cars broke, petrol, everything imaginable went wrong. We didn't really have much support from many stores. I would say North Riding was about the very nicest out of all of them, and the most accommodating. And then I would say Nickelway, and yeah, that's about it. Everybody else really treated us like crap. There was also no real effort made in regards to assisting us with a table and a bit of gift wrap out of the storerooms, except for Rock Cottage that gave us some, and then Nickelway actually supplied some paper for their store. Volunteers were traveling up and down. We're trying to do Ubers and everything to cover all these stores. So yeah, that's from an Irish luck perspective. Nosh did their best. They've also been out there trying to find more food, seeing the fight is so big. And yeah, so at the moment we are really recycling food and making sure that it's edible and getting it out there to people that are really trying very hard to find employment, and people that really just can't eat. And then obviously those that really can't fend for themselves, which is the elderly. Yeah, we're quite a lot of organizations connected together, and I'm going out there and putting out a plea for a premises where we can distribute food, perhaps have a built-in fridge, and then also we need a van and we need fuel, guys. Yes, and then we have so many projects that can generate income for people and create jobs. For instance, a sewing center. There are so many nice things that we could make, handbags and quilts, etc., which could be marketed nationally as well as internationally, but we just don't have the premises for it. Unfortunately, I'm just going to say it out straight, I help anybody and everybody. I don't care where you're from or what your thing is or your religion, or I don't care who you are or where you're from. End of story. Trying to apply in this country for a premises that is actually government sponsored, like at 222 in Joburg. I'm not the right color. I don't have the right board members. I don't have the funds. Yet I feed everyone. So all I need is some space to work in a place that locks up and where I can receive food and distribute it equally into the communities and into the projects that it needs to go. So yeah, we're looking at a total distribution rate of to start off with 60 actual organizations, and our main aim would be then to obviously go through everything, make sure it's edible, minimize waste, help the pig farmers at the end of the day get what they need to get, yeah, and see how many people and animals and everything else we can help in the process. And yeah, okay, my personal life is really very intertwined into my work, and I'm very angry most of the time. And yeah, I have a kind heart and I get screwed over 99.9% of the time, because I feel sorry for people. But that's all changed. I only have a responsibility towards the higher being, God, my husband, my children, and then my personal mission in life is to see that, I wouldn't say to get back what I lost. I just want it to be fair. And I want to be given what I'm worth at the end of the day, and not to be just seen as a disabled person. Yeah, and then I'm on a gym mission with my husband. Health-wise, it's doing us good. Relationship-wise, very. Was an addict for a very long time. As a child. After children's homes, running away, being on the streets. There's sections of my life that my husband doesn't even know. Where I've been, what I've done, where I was sent, why. Yeah, besides being stubborn and full of shit. Yeah, so blessed Sunday. I've sat in front of the gate now long enough, so let me see what I can get done here. Thank you. Bye.